Why are you taking down the signs?
I'll put them back up. Scott wants me to.
Did they belong to you? So in other words, you took someone else's signs. So will you do anything Scott asks you to? Is that what you're saying?
Trying to make a difference.
And you get your friendly sidekick here. Okay,
I don't know.
His friendly sidekick.
Sometimes friendly sidekick.
Okay, all right.
I don't know who. I don't think he's my sidekick. He's all on his own. He's kind of independently rotating through the universe.
Now you're here for what?
I am here for an event. I understand.
Okay.
This morning. Is this one of those events where the politician takes all the taxpayers' money and pretends to be doing something for the taxpayers when he's really running for senator?
I don't think that's it. Okay, but maybe you can go ahead and
I don't know
see what it is about this.
I'm figuring it out.
All right.
I'm figuring it out. I'm a newie. I'm a neophyte in this business.
Community is about our time here together, celebrating and enjoying the harvest and the blessings of the harvest. That's not necessarily a place to make a statement of protest. There's a time to talk about issues. There's a time to talk about records. I'm happy to do that. But to talk about anything about the 08 elections prior to the November election, it seemed pretty, seemed to be a mistake. And Steve McDonald invited this guy into this process, and so we were just really publicly calling on him to kind of call off the dogs and wait until after the November election in the spirit of party unity. So that's what it's about. Now, in fact, the people who came up to me really gave me a big embrace and said, "You're doing a great job." Stopped by the booth to make certain that what was communicated was, kind of their solid support. In fact, one lady walked up to me and she said, "I want to tell you," she said, "if you spend $60,000, it's the best $60,000 this thing's ever spent." So, I mean, it was.
Did someone take umbrage with you being at the fair or something?
No, it was. They were attacked us about outreach efforts that we made back in 2005. That's what it was about. Okay. So that's it. Frank, Dave.
Because I think it does. We've always had, from our standpoint, a very, you go back to Ecclesiastes as a season for everything, and I think that there's a time to go ahead and take some things on.
Yep.
When it comes to the season, and time when you have to think like that. Come into it, and I think right now is the time for us to focus on the campaign commissioner's races, and a lot of the races being on the ballot in this particular November.
A lot of people don't appreciate these robocalls in the first place. In fact, quite a few of them go into homes and residences that are on the do not call list, and they're really the folks that I talk to are offended by the phone calls. And what we don't want to happen is people to be so turned off by this negative campaign and by the invasion of their privacy. We don't want them to end up being turned off to the political process. I mean, there's a time for debate. There's a time for discussion. There's a time to talk about individuals' records and those kinds of things. It's just to, hire an outside firm from outside the area to make phone calls that you can't even respond to because they're recorded phone calls into people's homes, making accusations that can't be substantiated. Just seems to potentially pollute the well for the November election, and that's what we don't want to happen. We want to make sure all of the good folks from Lancaster County, the good Republicans that participate in elections, get out there and vote and not be jaded by this process. So that was the essence.
So isn't this just perpetrating the the negativity by making this story continue? If you wouldn't say a word, that wouldn't be in the newspaper, would it?
Ryan, do you have any other questions? The negative phone calls. Can you tell me anything about that? The essence of the phone calls were making accusations about the public service announcements that were done in 2005. There were, when I got elected, I told folks that I would do a lot of outreach to the community. We do newsletters. We do Eggs and Issues breakfast. We do town hall meetings. We're very make ourselves accessible to the community. In 2005, we did some public service announcements. One, encouraging people to contribute to the local fire companies. Recorded a little program with the Willow Street Fire Company. It was actually kind of fun working with the crew down there. Encourage people to participate with or help seniors access the prescription drug benefit through PACE and PACENet. Those programs aired on some of the local cable stations, aired on television. Since then, we've suspended using those public service announcements. We've used other types of means of the media, web blasts, email blasts, and then also we've worked at going ahead and trying to utilize YouTube, much more cost effective. So that's the method that we're using to reach out to the community, So the contention was these calls were for personal political gain, which is wholly inaccurate. Okay. That's the essence of it. We just want to make sure that the voters of Lancaster County, Republicans, know that we want them to turn out in the November election to not be jaded by the negative campaign that's going on.
Why did you stop running the PSAs?
Ryan, you have any other questions?
No, I didn't.
Okay, thanks.
You spent $62,000 of my money. I'm a taxpayer of Pennsylvania. I'd like to know why you stopped running that. Why did you stop running this?
Okay, guys, I got to thank you very much.
2,400 TV spots, 120 radio spots. My money that you're spending, and now you stop spending it. If it was so good then, why can't you run them now?
Who are you?
My name's Russ Diamond. You think this is all distracting from that?
Well, can't be distracted.
Oh, I don't think so. Not like
Well, I hope you're right, Russ. My job is to worry about things like this and to make sure that the unexpected doesn't happen.
Well, how you feel about somebody like Bob Guzzardi coming in here?
I don't know Mr. Guzzardi well enough to really know what he's all about.
Yeah, I think he's about reform. I know Bob for a while, and he's about reform. And
it's nice to be about reform, but you also, I think, have to respect the traditions and the customs of Lancaster County. Pulling it this early, I think, is inappropriate. So.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Press Ryan Robertson.
Oh, hi, Ryan. How are you? Well, Scott spent $62,000 on PSA announcements, and then he stopped. I'd like to know why he stopped. Obviously, he didn't want to answer it. He has made the claim that he didn't do it during an election year, but that's kind of fictitious. Not fictitious. It's actually true, but it's facetious because he had no opponents in that election year. That's $62,000. That's my money. That's Bob Guzzardi's money. That's every Pennsylvanian's money. He doesn't want to answer how he justifies doing that. That's, in my neck of the woods, that's two people's salary for an entire year that he spent to advertise for things like Adopt a Highway and FIA. FIA spends millions of dollars advertising. I mean,
Your contention, obviously, that was for political purposes.
It can't be really anything for. That's part of the incumbent protection plan.